Hello and welcome back to the Thrive and Five podcast. I hope you've had an incredible week. If you're listening on release day, happy Friday. I hope you're heading into the weekend with something fun planned. If you are listening not on release day, then I hope you're heading into your day with something fun planned. Before you go do that something fun though, I wanted to share a story with you that might just change how you think about health and fitness goals a little bit. I'm going to talk to you today about one of my incredible clients, Ali. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen me share Ali's story. It's really inspiring. She is just an incredible human being. She is a hardworking solicitor who, when we first spoke, was stuck in a little bit of a spiral, a little bit of a hole. She was in a bit of a yo-yo diet cycle and wasn't feeling so great about herself. And her story is one that I know a lot of you will relate to. I know when I speak to people on social media, they often mention that they've read her story. So if you haven't read it, then you're going to relate. And if you have read it, I'm going to share some extra bits in here. So let's dive into Ali's journey and let's just chat through a little bit about the journey that she's been on. So when Ali and I first spoke, it was back in March last year. Ali was she was juggling a lot. She had a really demanding career as a solicitor, which she was thriving in. She loved her job. She'd worked super hard to build that career, but it was starting to become something that was impacting her ability to lose weight. She was often working late. She had a social calendar that was always packed with work events, but then also cheese and wine nights and dinners with friends and meals out. And she was struggling to balance it all. Ali Ali won't mind me telling you that she is a perfectionist by nature. So she would often try her best to stay on plan during the week, to be really good, really on it, only to hit Friday night and feel like all her hard work was unraveling over the weekend, which I'm sure sounds familiar to a lot of you. She was in a place where every Monday she felt like she was back at square one. The scales weren't budging, her jeans were feeling tighter, and she was getting fed up. She was fed up of feeling like a failure, fed up of trying so hard and not getting anywhere. She was fed up of walking into Zara and nothing fitting. She was fed up with, clothes in her wardrobe not even being close to doing up. Ali'd also had some really terrible experiences with the fitness industry before. I wish that she was alone in going through some of this, but she wasn't. She'd been told that in order to lose weight, she needed to be at the gym multiple times a day. She needed to be eating stupidly low calories, that eating out was just not possible if she wanted to lose weight. She'd been made to feel like weight loss and feeling good about her body was something that just wasn't possible for someone who lived the life that she lived. And on our first call, she was feeling pretty hopeless. I think she won't mind me saying that. It was quite an emotional call. She shared quite a lot, and she was definitely, she was struggling. She really needed some help. And if you've ever felt like that, like no matter what you do, nothing works, that the only way to lose weight is to restrict more, to cut down food more, I want you to know there's a way out. There is a solution. There is a way out of this. When Ali came to me, as I say, she felt like losing weight was impossible for her. She felt like she would never be in a place where she could lose weight and go out for meals. She never felt like she'd be in a place where she felt good about her body. At the TFP, I don't believe that the approach to health and fitness is by giving you a bunch of extra stuff to do. The solution isn't about working harder. It's not about having more things in your to-do list. It's about working smarter. So we use 3 systems with Ali to turn things around. These are the 3 systems that we use within the TFP to help professional women. The first one is the time balance blueprint. Ali was convinced she didn't have time for health and fitness. She didn't have time to get workouts in. She didn't have time to do all the stuff she needs to do. Her previous experience with the health and fitness industry had made her feel like in order to lose weight, she had to be spending 2 hours plus in the gym daily. And between work and her social life, she was never going to be able to fit that in. But the time balance blueprint changed that. We worked together to build a plan that fit her life, not the other way around. We used tools like flexible workout options, quick meal prep strategies, and we made sure that taking care of herself wasn't a chore. It was something that she always had time for. Ali started to see that she did have time. It was just about using it more effectively. There's this phrase that I hate, that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We don't. We all have different responsibilities. And as professional women, we do have less time available for ourselves because a lot of it's spent working for somebody else. But through the time balance blueprint, we were able to give Ali some time back and help her to see how health and fitness wasn't something that had to suck time away from her. It was something that could work within her life. The next framework we used was our flexibility framework. Ali openly admits she's a bit of an all or nothing person. If her week wasn't perfect, she would hit the fuck it button and spiral. If the scales didn't go down, she would panic. If things weren't moving exactly how she should, she would panic. And so we brought in the flexibility framework. Instead of rigid rules, we focused on calorie windows. We planned for her cheese and wine nights within the social scale strategy. We taught her how to enjoy her food guilt-free. We gave her the flexibility to stay consistent, which meant that she wasn't starting again every single Monday. She just carried on. When things happened, when she had meals out, when she had a night out that went a little bit further than maybe she'd intended, when things did get a little bit more challenging, she still kept going because she had that consistency through the flexibility framework. And finally, the stress less system. Ali is quite an emotional person. A lot of professional women, and I see this with a lot of the women that I work with, are in the workplace. We have to keep our emotions dampened. We can't be seen as emotional because that's not necessarily due to the patriarchy, a whole other thing, due to the patriarchy and all of that. We feel like we can't be emotional, we can't express our emotions. And so we tend to look for ways to deal with those emotions through food. Ali was somebody who would use food as a way to cope with her emotions. She would use eating and dieting as a way to manage her emotions. And through the stress less system, we were able to address that head on. Ali has learned how to manage stress without relying on food and how to be more present and intentional with her meals. We haven't said to her, you can't stress eat. We haven't said that you can't eat emotionally. I believe that food is always emotional, that if you enjoy food, and Ali's a huge foodie, if you love food, you're going to eat it emotionally because part of enjoying something is an emotion. But what we have done is given her tools to manage her stress in a way that doesn't rely on food. So she can enjoy food and she can use that as one of her means of managing stress, but she also has other tools within her toolkit to deal with that stress so that she doesn't feel out of control. And she's told me that for the first time, taking care of herself isn't actually adding to her stress, it's helping her to handle her stress better. We are now a good 7-ish months on, 8 months. I can't do the math in my head. We're a good 6 months plus on of Ali's journey, and she's a completely different person now. She has lost 12 kilos, which is over 2 stone in old money. She's had to buy new jeans, not once, but twice. She is now shopping in Zara. She is now a medium in Zara, having not been able to even fit into Zara clothes when we first started working together. She is moving her body out of joy and because she loves moving her body, not because she feels like it's the only way she can lose weight. She's no longer hiding from the camera or feeling uncomfortable in her own skin. It's been amazing. She recently celebrated her 40th birthday, and the pictures, she just looked amazing. Ali is feeling so good in her body, so confident in her clothes. I love getting pictures from her once a week, at least once a week, of her sharing her various purchases of new clothes that she's wearing and new outfits she's trying on. And most importantly, she's now able to really enjoy the life that she's worked so hard to build. She's able to enjoy her dinners with friends, her cheese and wine nights, her weekends away. She's able to enjoy her time with her dog, her house. She's able to enjoy all those things because she's done the work. That's why I love what I do. Ali, she's not just a number on the scales. She's a thriving, confident, happy professional woman who is now breaking free of that yo-yo dieting cycle. She's lost 2+ stone, which just blows my mind every time I think about it. And she's feeling incredible. So if you're listening to this and thinking, oh, I feel like I'm where Ali was and I want to make a change, here's some bits of advice. Here's some little nuggets of things to think about. Firstly, stop trying to fit your life around a diet and instead find a diet that works for your life. Secondly, think about consistency over all or nothing. Really challenge yourself whenever you think, oh, fuck it, what's the point? And instead think, how can I keep moving forward? And most importantly, and I think Ali would definitely agree with me here, don't do it alone. Don't try and go it alone. I did it for so long. Ali did it for so long. It's really miserable. When you have the right support, it can make all the difference. So if you want to chat through any of that, if you want a bit more detail, obviously just put me a message on Instagram. I'm always happy to chat. We can always chat through how this might look for you. But also check out the other bits on my social media. I've got something launching in a couple of weeks, which will be great if you're thinking about how you can kind of make this change. But thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Thrive in 5 podcast. Thank you for listening to the first week of episodes as well. If you enjoyed it, please hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. If you know someone who is stuck in that yo-yo diet cycle or is just feeling a little bit shit about their own health and fitness, please share this episode with them. Share the love. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next time.